Guys, Paul Monroe here, and I'm really excited for this video. In this video, I'm going to teach you the Rock Songo. This has a whole bunch of patterns in it, actually 3 patterns, that you're going to be able to use and utilize around the kit right away, instantly, as soon as you learn these patterns. This Songo beat will also give you a nice solo piece to work on, and it'll give you a whole bunch of ideas for that, as well as develop all kinds of new techniques for you just by learning this one beat. So if you're ready to improve your drumming with the Songo, let's do it. So if you look up the Songo on the internet, you're probably going to see a Latin version of it where the ride cymbal plays tang, ta ta tang, ta ta tang, tang tang tang, ta ta tang. And I'll play a little version of that for you. That's kind of the idea, but we're not going to be doing that. However, I highly recommend that you learn to play this beat with that ride pattern, because it's going to help you develop so many other things. Sometimes when you're playing and you're practicing things, you don't know it, but it's actually helping and develop other things like fills and grooves and just overall independence of your hands and your technique. Just know that by working on one thing, especially this Songo, it's just going to help so many things. So I highly recommend you learning that pattern the way it is, Latin version. But we're going to be focusing on the rock version. And with the rock version, the hi-hat is our main instrument here that we're going to play. And we're going to just be playing quarter notes. So it's just real simple. Quarter notes on the hi-hat. And the Songo rhythm on the bass drum is like this. So I'm going to play the quarter notes on the hi-hat and just the Songo rhythm so you get the feel of it. Here we go. So sometimes you'll put the bass drum on one, especially if you're crashing on one, you'll want to put the bass drum on there. Sometimes you don't want to put the bass drum in, and you'll kind of play with it and see how that feels for you. So you saw the pattern on the hi-hat, it's just quarter notes, but sometimes I like to play 2 16th notes in a row on the hi-hat on the first beat, which would sound like. And I'll show you how that comes into play a little later, but just keep that in mind. All right, so there are actually 3 patterns to this Songo, and each pattern can be used around the kit in other beats. They're not just locked into the Songo, especially one of the patterns, which I'll go into. But let's take a look at the first pattern. So the first pattern is this. We'll play it first slow and then a little faster, just so you can get the idea of the patterns. That's the first pad, a little faster. So what you want to do is you want to learn these patterns one at a time with the metronome, building up your speed. Okay, and then once you get all the patterns, all 3 patterns locked in, then you would combine them all together and that would form the Songo. So let's look at the second pattern. So the second pattern is this. important to ghost the first note and then accent that second one. And on the first pattern, there's an accent on that snare as well. So to really get the feel of the songo, you have to get those ghost notes in. You can't have the snare drum all at the same volume. You have to incorporate those ghost notes. All right, so that was pattern 2. Now we're looking at pattern 3. This is the third pattern. A little faster. We're going to come back to that in a second. The fourth pattern is exactly the same as the second pattern. So here's the 3 patterns. You have the second pattern, and the third pattern. Let's focus on that pattern just for a second. I just want to give you a little food for thought to work on. I always use this pattern in my rock beat. So instead of playing a regular rock beat, see if you can hear the difference. I'm going to add this pattern in. I'll first play it a couple measures without it, and then I'll add it in. So many different ways that you could use that, but I love using it in those beats like that. So try that out. Okay, so now we're going to take this songo, we're going to take all 3 of those patterns and put them together, and we'll play it slow, and then we'll play it a little faster. So here's the songo a little slower. Now I'll show you that pattern change that I was talking about before, where you just add a little 2 16th notes on the front of that pattern on the hi-hat. So it's going to sound like this. So play with that a little bit. I know I'm going fast here. I'm just giving you a whole bunch of different ideas to work on to try and get through this video within hopefully about 15 minutes. So now that you got the pattern, you got the basic pattern, you kind of see the idea of how it works, I would recommend try to play this pattern also on the ride cymbal and put a pattern on the hi-hat with your foot. For instance, quarter notes. You could even do 8th notes. because it is a fun pattern. It is a lot of fun to play. So you got a lot of different things to work on there, okay? And you want to first practice the patterns by themselves, very slow with the metronome, work your way up, then do the whole thing on the hi-hat with just quarter notes, then maybe add in that little 16th thing, and then you could go to the ride cymbal and start working those patterns in with the hi-hat, all right? So that's a lot of homework for you as it is. The other thing that's cool about this is it's such a great pattern that as long as you get the pattern, okay, the pattern down, okay, in your soul, buried in your soul, and you get that pattern down, all you have to do is just start moving your hands around the kit to create different sounds and, you know, play the different instruments. So let's hear what that sounds like. I'm just going to start it out on the hi-hat, and then I'll just start floating around the kit a little bit. That is a lot of fun. So I'm not even thinking, I'm just like floating my hands around the kit, and whatever drum hits, great. Sometimes it might sound cool, sometimes it might not sound so cool, but you will stumble across some really cool patterns that you're gonna put in your little arsenal, and then you'll be able to use that later. All right, so that's how you kind of move it around the kit a little bit. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you something really cool about this Songo. What you could do, and we'll place it on the bottom of the screen here so you can see, you don't always have to start it on one. Sometimes with any beat, now this is just not with the Songo, with any beat, technically if there's 16 notes in this Songo, 1 E-enda, 2 E-enda, 3 E-enda, 4 E-enda, you have 16 notes, you could really start that on any note. You could start on the E of 1, the and of 2, the da of 3. You could really start the pattern wherever you want. So I'm just going to give you 2 examples just to see what I'm talking about. Instead of playing the Songo starting on beat 1, we're going to start it on beat 3 with that pattern. So this is going to sound like this. So that's kind of cool. You have like a different rhythm, and then you can combine the Songo with that one, and there's so many different things that you could do. But I'm going to show you one of my favorites. This is something I came up with, oh my gosh, 20 years ago. It had to have been. All right, 20 years ago at least. I came up with this, and I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. So I kept it, and I'm going to share it with you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start the beat on the and of 1. 1 E-enda, 2 E-enda, 3 E-enda, 4 E-enda, 1. So that snare, that's gonna become by 1. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the Songo 2 times, 2 measures, and then I'm gonna switch it and start it on the and of 1. And I'm gonna end the pattern, the phrase, with a little hi-hat thing just to give it a little transition. And you'll see if you can catch it and see what I'm talking about. This is really cool when you start combining this stuff around. Check it out. at the end there. Sticks are kind of flying out of my hands. I'm gonna keep that mistake in there. I always do. Anyway, man, that was fun. So there you go. That's the Songo. All right, so you have a whole bunch of different ways to play it. Play it on the hi-hat, go to the ride with the hi-hat patterns over here. You could solo with it. You could start displacing those notes, like I said, starting the pattern in different places. And that's pretty much it. And once you learn this pattern, once you learn the Songo, I promise you, your drumming will get so much better in so many different ways, especially just being able to groove and do that one pattern. Just that one little thing with the ghost note there, that one pat adds so much to that beat and just fills it up. You might be able to feel that with me. Are you feeling me? So try it out, play with it, have fun with it, get creative, and just enjoy yourself. That's the most important part. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. It really helps me out a lot. And subscribe to my channel. And if you're on a computer, there should be a little bell next to the subscribe button. And if you hit that, you'll be notified of any new videos that I put out in the future. So as always, I really appreciate you guys. I always enjoy seeing how many people view these videos and are watching them. And even if there's just a few, as long as the few of you are getting something out of this, I'm getting something out of this, and this is all worth it to me. So thank you again for watching my videos and stopping by. I appreciate you, and I will see you next time.